There comes a point in life where you look around and realize that everything you once held onto has been ripped away. The comfort is gone. The people you thought would stand by you have disappeared. You've been left with nothing, stripped down to the core, with no illusions of safety, no walls to hide behind. And it's in that moment, that raw, painful moment, where you discover a powerful truth. I've got nothing left to lose. It sounds devastating at first, doesn't it? The thought that everything you've worked for, everything you've cared about, is gone. The people you trusted, gone. The dreams you once held, crushed. The plans you so meticulously crafted, scattered into the wind like dust. But look deeper. Think harder. There's a realization waiting for you at the end of that despair. When you've got nothing left to lose, something incredible happens. You gain the ultimate freedom. Yes, freedom. The very thing you never thought could be born out of loss. The fear of loss no longer has power over you because you've already faced it. You've been broken, you've been beaten down, you've been hurt and betrayed. But here's the truth, you're still standing. You've made it through the fire. And now, there's nothing left to fear. You've lived through the storm. And what's left now is someone who knows that the worst is past and is still moving forward. That's power. That's resilience. When you've lost everything, fear loses its grip on you. What else can scare you now? You've already been to the edge of the cliff. You've already watched things crumble around you. You've already lost what you thought you couldn't live without. And yet you're still here, breathing, fighting, living. You're a survivor. Fear of failure? Gone. Fear of judgment? Irrelevant. Fear of rejection? Meaningless. None of it can touch you anymore. You've been baptized in fire, and you've come out the other side with a level of strength most people will never understand. You are free from the chains that once held you down. When you've got nothing left to lose, you become a force that can't be stopped. You become dangerous, not in a reckless way, but in a way that makes you unstoppable. Fear can no longer dictate your actions because the worst has already happened and you're still standing tall. You don't flinch. You don't hesitate. You move with purpose, with focus, with the knowledge that nothing is left to hold you back. When others are still stuck playing it safe, trying to protect themselves from failure or judgment, you are moving forward with nothing but your vision and your will. Their fear keeps them in a cage. Your freedom? It lets you run wild. And that's what makes you different now. You're not playing by the same rules as everyone else anymore. The fear that controls them doesn't control you. The limits they set for themselves, they don't apply to you. Rock bottom. Most people fear it. They do everything they can to avoid it. They tiptoe through life, playing it safe, never taking risks, because they're terrified of losing what they have. They're terrified of failure, of embarrassment, of loss. But you've been there. You've touched the bottom, and you didn't let it destroy you. Instead, you found strength. You found clarity. You realized something most people never understand. Rock bottom isn't the end. It's the foundation on which you can rebuild. When you've been to the depths, you see the world differently. You realize that all the things you once feared, all the losses you once dreaded, they're not as powerful as you thought. They don't have the ability to break you the way you imagined they would. From that place of loss, you gain a new kind of power. A power that comes from having no more safety nets, no more hand-holding, no more crutches, just you, your will, and your ability to rise. That's a freedom most people never know. When you've got nothing left to lose, you stop playing it safe. You stop holding back. You give it everything, because at that moment, there's nothing else to give. You've been stripped of the unnecessary, of the superficial, and all that remains is pure, unfiltered determination. You don't wait for perfect circumstances. You don't wait for the right time, because you know there's no such thing. You know that all you've got is this moment, right here, right now, and you're going to take it with both hands. When you've lost everything, the masks come off. You don't have to pretend anymore. You don't have to fit into someone else's mold, someone else's idea of who you should be. The world is taken from you, and in doing so, it's giving you the freedom to be who you truly are. That's a gift, even if it doesn't feel like one at first. There's no more hiding behind expectations. No more trying to please people who didn't care about you in the first place. You are free to be raw, to be real, to be unapologetically yourself. And that's when you become truly powerful. When you stop worrying about who you're supposed to be and start living as who you really are. That's when you begin to move mountains. You've got nothing left to lose, and that makes you invincible. You see, when you're no longer concerned with what others think of you, when you're no longer bound by their judgments, you can finally become the person you are always meant to be. You don't seek approval. You don't seek validation. You live for yourself, for your goals, for your dreams. And that's where true strength comes from. For most of your life, you've been held back by invisible chains. Chains of doubt, chains of fear, chains of other people's opinions. But now those chains are shattered. There's nothing left holding you down. You've been broken, yes, but in that breaking, you've been set free. You don't need anyone's approval. You don't need anyone's permission. You are free to make your own path. Free to take risks. Free to go after what you want with a relentless, unyielding determination. Because here's the truth. When you've lost everything, the only way is forward. There's no turning back, no clinging to the past. The future is wide open, and it's yours to shape. Most people spend their entire lives trying to protect what they have. They play it safe, hold on to security, and never take the risks that could lead them to greatness. But you don't have that luxury. And that's a good thing. Because when you've lost it all, when you have nothing left to lose, you realize that the only way forward is to rebuild. And rebuilding from nothing makes you unstoppable. You're not tied down by the fear of losing what you've built, because there's nothing left to lose. You've already lost it. Now, every move you make is bold, fearless, and full of intent. You're not playing small. You're not hesitating. You're not second-guessing yourself anymore. You're moving forward with the full force of someone who has everything to gain and nothing to lose. Look back for a second. Look at all the moments when you thought you couldn't survive. The heartbreaks, the betrayals, the losses, the failures. You thought those moments would break you. You thought you wouldn't make it. But here you are, still standing. You survived the worst, and that makes you stronger than you've ever been. So now it's time to rise. It's time to take that strength, that resilience, and use it to fuel your comeback. You've been to the depths, you've experienced the pain, but now, you're unstoppable. The worst is behind you. The fear is gone. You've got nothing left to lose, and that means you've got everything to gain. This is it. This is your moment. You've been stripped of everything, but what you've gained is worth so much more. You've gained clarity. You've gained strength. You've gained a fearlessness that most people can only dream of. You've got nothing left to lose. And that's the key to your ultimate power. So what are you waiting for? Stop holding back. Stop hesitating. Stop playing small. Now is the time to step into the person you were meant to be. Now is the time to go after everything you've ever wanted, with a fierce determination that can't be broken. You've got nothing left to lose, and that's your greatest strength.